Hello, everybody. That was a short little intro to my video on Bourbon Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. And I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna keep walking a little bit. It's a pretty interesting little place in that window there. Don't know what it is. It's kind of interesting, but so I am in New Orleans, and I like it here a lot. It is. I was telling my new friend and colleague, I'll say, Kellen, just a little bit ago via text message about what a unique place this is. But I will say that to anybody because it's just true. It's just true. You're not going to find a place like New Orleans. If you go to France, or maybe like Quebec, Canada, you'll find some places with similar architecture because the French built this city, and so you'll see some buildings that look similarly, but the situation's not going to be the same. That's a good place. I'm going to come chill right here. Like I said, I'm going to keep walking a bit. But so anyway, anybody who's watched my videos in the past that are based on, just some, ideas I have on something, I try not to make it too long, but I don't succeed in that very often. There's been a lot where I'm like, hey, I'm going to talk for a couple minutes about this or that. Then I'm like, whoa, it's been 45 minutes. So I'm going to try not to do that on this one. I'm going to try not to. And so I'm going to get straight to it. I'm going to walk down this way. It looks like it's pretty cool. There's a bunch of flags and just other kind of, interesting looking street side buildings and so forth. But so I guess so last night my mom and I walked around we actually walked pretty much the duration of Bourbon Street. So that guy there with his big tuba across the street. How's it going? And so you got that kind of stuff everywhere. Like, I could make a separate video just about New Orleans and its uniqueness. And that video could be in the vein of like somebody who would want to teach like a college class on the uniqueness of New Orleans, because you could get like a minor degree or maybe even a regular degree, a college degree just about this city. And maybe it exists, right? Maybe it exists because the history itself is one thing, but the living culture of this city is something else. And of course that living culture, comes from that really, cool and rich history, but there's just so much. And like I said, I'm going to keep this video pretty short, which means I can't get into that very often. But you just, golly, there's so much here. And it's not just the French Quarter and Bourbon Street. They've got, some really cool universities. Loyola, one of which, the one that my daughter goes to. And there is just the Mississippi River, the mouth of it, the end of it is here. And, in the past, they had, some pretty famous pirates that lived in this area, or at least, patrolled the waters. And, there's a lot of, kind of interesting subculture things here. There's a lot of like kind of vampire lore and, voodoo and all these sorts of things. But there's just a lot. There's so much. But so my video today is bigger than New Orleans. If you've made it this far, then I appreciate it. Which way should we go? Let's walk down past Bourbon Street again. Should we? It gets loud. You guys might like that. You might like the sights of the city over my voice and thoughts. Let's go ahead and go down this way. Hello. These girls were smoking a bunch of stuff in that car there. But so last night my mom and I walked down Bourbon Street and I'm like, wow, there's so many people. And then, yesterday there's a casino across from our hotel, and my brother and Alberto and my mom and I went in there and they got a drink a little bit ago. Right before I came to Bourbon Street, they went in and got a drink, and I'm just like, casino, lights, interesting places to eat. Obviously games all over the place, just like casinos. I'm a big anime con goer over the past. I wish I could show y'all everybody in the cars. They're kind of cool and interesting too. It's like even the people hanging out here, which are from all over the world, are worth taking a look at. But I always compare casinos to anime conventions to a degree, because they remind me of a place that doesn't really go to sleep, and there's just so much to do and so much energy that you just hang out and be happy. You don't even have to really play the games. But so anyway, I was at this casino, and then this morning I was thinking about this city. And so then I was thinking about all the other cities out there that are pretty interesting. Then I was thinking about all the places out there, like cities included, that are really interesting. And then my brain was like, what? I was like, there are so many interesting places and so much to do that I just can't even sort it out in my brain. Not only can I not sort out the quantity and quality of these places. Hey, how are y'all?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, appreciate it. But I also can't sort out my own excitement for it. It's just like, whenever I start to realize how many there are and how cool they are, I start to be like, how can you possibly keep up with it, right? How can you possibly keep up with it? And so I just had that thought this morning. I was like, at some point today, I'm going to go walk around Bourbon Street and the French Quarter, and I'm going to share a few thoughts I have on this topic, which I hope you guys, I want your thoughts on this, okay? I want your thoughts on it. As I get, into more of the center of my idea here, which is, the world has always had interesting places. If we were to go back in time, several hundred years, London is still there, Paris is still there, New York City is still there for at least the last, 200 years, which is not that long. Holy cow, 300, it was, I think, a New Amsterdam it was called before that, But you know, there's been a lot of civilizations with a lot of cool places for a long time. How's it going, man? We're gonna walk by Bourbon Street again really fast. I think we're almost there. Pretty soon. So time out. Time out on me for a second. Pardon me. All right. So, those two guys in there, I just walked in because I heard the live music. Those two guys in there were, well, one in particular, he came up and like gave me a fist bump because he loves my Pizza Planet shirts. Holy cow. What? Okay, let me first tell you really fast. This Pizza Planet shirt is very, very special to me. First and foremost, because my daughter gave it to me. Secondly, because whenever my daughter and I go to Disneyland, which is a lot, but never enough, we have a game where we actually have like an app that's a counter. And, hello. And we have a game where whoever can like spot more people in Pizza Planet shirts, yeah, whoever shouts it out first like gets a point. And so we like keep up with it on the app. And so it's a fun game. And so it's, you know, meaningful. And so it's really cool that that dude and his friend acknowledge that, which means they're cool. So it's always nice to meet cool people and things like, it's like that confirms them as cool. And anybody who likes Avatar: The Last Airbender is confirmed as cool also. That's like a strict rule of mine. Strict rule. You're in. You have like coolness, unrevocable cred if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the reverse is true also. If you don't like it, then that's a big problem. But, so watch it if you haven't. So anyway, straight to the point again. This is going to end up being another 5,000 light year long video otherwise. So I was thinking again about all that stuff I already said. And so back in the day, right, if we go back in time to where all these cool places existed, like Paris and London and, Shanghai and, Mexico City before it was Mexico City, Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital. And, the planet was full of cool places, several of which weren't even inhabited by people. You couldn't get to them very easily, right? It was hard. Oh my God. Like, do you ever think about that? If you wanted to go to any of these places, you had to have a way to get there. And, reliable sea travel like boats, that has only existed for the last few hundred years. And humans have been around for a long time. And so you couldn't get to these places very well. And even if you wanted to go to places on the same continent, even getting between like Paris and London wasn't easy, right? I mean, it took a lot of time and it was dangerous. You can't just grab a plane or drive a car, or even taking a horse or going on your feet was probably not easy either. And so I just was thinking this morning, I'm gonna end up making this video pretty fast. I'm gonna make it pretty fast. Look how beautiful this is. Holy cow! It's just a side street, a little parallel to Bourbon Street in downtown New Orleans, Louisiana. So I was thinking this morning, how many crazy places are there to go with your human time now? One of my students, she's never actually been in my class, but she is a good friend of mine. I was asking her yesterday about privilege, I was like, what are some things that we take for granted? And I think that, I can't remember honestly if it was she or I who said it, But one of them is like how much free time we have, right? You know, like so much free time. Is this live music up here somewhere? I feel like it must be if we're in New Orleans, Louisiana. Let's find out. Let's find out if I can get over that water there, that puddle. Oh yeah, this guy's good. How's it going, man? I like that guy singing along with the song over there. Love that guy just singing right along with his lollipop. I like it. Every street corner almost has that kind of stuff, right? So, again, let me get to my point. If that can ever actually happen, maybe we'd have to be in an alternate. We might have to be in an alternate dimension for me to get to a point quickly. And maybe even there we would be lost to it. I'm gonna walk down this little alleyway here. It's kind of cool. It doesn't fit the dangerous dark alleyway description. Looks pretty nice. So I again, I am just bewildered, okay? I am flabbergasted and just, I guess, clueless. I am clueless as to how we have come up with this situation now, as humans are in my condition and yours too, that we have so much freedom to pursue diversion and like fun. There's so damn much. I mean, can you guys stop right now? Now, I know not everybody can access it, and I made a separate video about that in Europe a couple of years ago. I think I was in Rovinj, Croatia, and I was thinking about, like, if everybody could actually go do everything they wanted all the time, could the planet actually sustain that? There's no way. The planet already has a hard enough time. I love where I'm at right now, by the way. I really, really love where I'm at. It's like quiet. There's no shops that are like, those guys look like they're getting ready to open pretty soon, but this is just perfect. I'm so happy I found this alleyway here, but some really beautiful magnolia trees back there. Man, this is just what I needed, man. I'm working on some lines for my acting class right now, and I was having a good time. I love walking around Bourbon Street, just looking at everything. I'm so happy those guys like propped up my Pizza Planet shirt. Man, you have no idea how much that like was like a just like a super happy morale booster to me. I was already in a good mood, but that made it a lot better. So anyway, I just feel really, really like I'm in the right spot. So anyway, what I was saying was like the not everybody is able to access fun all the time. You know, there's a lot of people who probably are working like 3 jobs and still barely paying the rent. I know there's a lot of people that don't have any jobs and are having to get their like housing and their food through free programs because they can't afford anything. I know that there's people out there who have so many resources and so much time that they can't even find the time to do what they could afford to do. They just don't have the time. Isn't that interesting? The richest person in the world and the poorest person in the world, the healthiest and the sickest, the most ingenious and the one with the biggest mental handicap, right? Anything in between. Everybody in the world of any position or stature of any kind, they can't get more time than anybody else. I've got 24 hours today, and so do you. And so do all these people here and everybody everywhere else. And so, like, again, you can have all the money and time in the world free, but you don't get any more time than anybody else in terms of what's available, right? Only how you can maybe be freed up to use it. And even those people who have unlimited time can't do it all. They can try. And I know, my point again is I know different people are in different situations, but today there's so much. That's why Disney World is full all the time. That's why my daughter and I go to Disneyland all the time, and I'm a school teacher. I'm not a stockbroker or a brain surgeon or somebody who inherited millions of dollars. I have, 4 jobs now too, right? I have 4 jobs, but I love all of them. There's not one of my jobs that I don't enjoy when I'm at them. I don't really super love my school job right now the same because of some nonsense around like the state of Texas getting their hands in on the whole thing, but you can look that up in the news if you want to, but hey, I'm gonna do my best anyway. And so, here I am in New Orleans, Louisiana. One of so many places that one can go to enjoy themselves. We could go to Disney World, we could go to Disneyland, we could go to San Francisco, California, we could go to New York City, we could go to one of countless places here in the United States, Canada, Mexico. Oh my gosh, I've been to Canada and Mexico. They are full of amazing places. I've been to Central America. It is full of amazing places. I've been to South America, and it has got so many more places that I want to go to, and the ones I've seen are like incredible, right? And I'm not even talking about Disney World style, oh my gosh, look at all the fun rides and the crazy attractions and drinks to drink and restaurants to restaurant at and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about places like Machu Picchu. I took my daughter there when she was like 9. And there's no electronics there. It's just an amazing place that has been there for a long time. And there's a lot of places like that too. And I just don't know how to even add it all up. There's just so much. So just to kind of wrap up this segment of my video, which is my main point. My main point is that our lives today, if you can get yourself in the situation, which a lot of people can, we don't live in a world right now where you only have rich people doing this kind of stuff. There's a lot of opportunity, particularly if you are from the United States or from other, Western countries. I run into people from Europe, from Australia, from Canada all the time. All these places have afforded their citizens the opportunity to, take pretty cool vacations and take them for way longer than Americans often do. I'll meet people from like Australia and I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And, wherever. They're like, oh, we're on holiday. And I'm like, really? And that wasn't my attempt at an Australian accent. I'm not going to even try it. I'm like, cool, me too. I'm here for 2 weeks. How about y'all? They're like, oh, mate, we're here for, I am trying it. We're here for 4 months. I'm like, 4 months? Yeah, that's before we head off to the next spot. I'm just like, wait a second. Y'all are taking a 4-month-long vacation or holiday, if you will, before you head off to like your next spot, or whatever it is. So yeah, they do pretty well. Australians travel well, as do many places. Americans have to find the vacation time, which oftentimes we don't have because got to get back to work. But I left my little alleyway. So what do you guys think of? What do you guys think out there? I'm gonna ask you. Share with me. Tell me. What do you guys think about? Do you feel flooded with options on things to do? Are you a homebody and you prefer just to stay where you're at and hang out? Do you in fact feel like it's just right? Do you feel like it's a baby bear situation out there in the world and there's just enough opportunity and just enough time for you to feel at peace? Using your time to go have fun and do interesting things and not feel overwhelmed. Let me get around the corner here. Get up. How's it going? Great, appreciate it. So yeah, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I've got, oh my gosh, I've got family members. I won't say their names. They go to freaking Disney World like, 6 times a year. There's so much money. Are you kidding me? My mom is, I will say this, I don't care. My mom is the eldest of 8 kids, and almost all of them, except for very few, are either rich or have access to a large sum of money. And they're from like not a rich family. They just either married somebody rich or dating somebody really rich, or they got really rich themselves for some reason. And I'm telling you, like almost all of them have families and kids that can do pretty much whatever they want all the time. I'm the eldest of like 20 grandkids, and everybody pretty much can do whatever they want all the time. It's just, I know that I know it didn't used to be that way. So props to, I guess props, I don't know, is it good or is it bad? Are we spoiled? Is there too much, maybe? What do you guys think? Do you think that we have too many options and have too much to do? Do you think that maybe our society has gotten complacent and maybe lazy and spoiled, like I said? I'm not saying we are. I'm asking you. I don't know. I feel spoiled personally. I'm not going to talk about you or anybody else out there. I feel spoiled. I mean, literally, I'm like, hey, I'm going to teach my kids and do a really, hard job. Not hard as in like it's difficult, I'm saying, but it sometimes is. I'm going to work hard to do a good job. And then I get, a really great vacation, or like right now, I took Friday off and I came to New Orleans, Louisiana, not a very long flight, tons of stuff to do. My mom takes care of a lot of it because she just believes in that, So hey, I'm going to get this really nice hotel room and just set it all up, and everybody just have a good time. Don't ask any questions. That's my mom's philosophy. Let's make sure everybody has a good time. Don't even worry about it, right? And I really inherited that from her too. I really did. How's it going, man? And so to finish this bit here, pretty interesting. Can't even see, oh, there they are. A bunch of fancy blinged out mannequins. Go ahead. See if I can find a seat here really fast and finish up. The side streets of the French Quarter right there. Mississippi River's right back that way on the other side of that stuff. Ooh. Pastry shop looks pretty good. A coffee shop. I may grab something. I almost sat down right there, but changed my mind. So let's say that you had a week off from work, or I did too, for whatever reason. Spring break, fall break, you just have a vacation you need to use. You take a look at your, you guys realize that a school teacher used to be poor? That used to be like the job where you just barely could squeak by. So I feel like I have a lot of friends that are not in that situation. I feel like a lot of my teacher friends, a few are. I have some friends that say, hey, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and it's, not really very, very freeing of a situation, but I have a lot that aren't. I have a lot that have a lot of extra money, and like me too. Yeah, what I'm saying about that is, if I have a weekend, and I want to go out of town, I don't have to really sit back and be like, do I need to dig through the couches for like, change to make sure I can buy my airline ticket? It's just not like that. I feel like when I was a kid, money was a lot tighter. It's not anymore for a lot of people. What would you do? Again, I've got a week off. Do I want to take a trip to San Diego, California, one of the greatest cities ever? Do I want to take a quick trip and go to, Spain, hang out in Sevilla, another amazing city? Do I want to go to Toronto, Canada? Do I want to go to Disney World? Do I want to go to New York City? Do I want to go to Tokyo, Japan? A week's not quite long enough for that. Maybe I'm going to have to ask my boss for 2 weeks. Maybe you can do it. A lot of people can. Do you just want to go to a casino that's nearby, like we have in Dallas-Fort Worth, drive for less than an hour and a half and go to the gigantic WinStar World Casino? Do you want to go to a national park? Do you want to go to some other beautiful nature place? I'm going to sit down here really fast and finish up. Hello.
How you doing?
Great, appreciate it. The options are endless. The options are endless. I mean, there's no way that I could list all the options of places to go and things to do these days. There's so much. And here's the flip side of that, which I have to remember to say, and then we're gonna be all wrapped up here. Let's say that you don't have the means or the funds. That guy there. It's a monk of some sorts. If you don't have the means or the time to escape away to one of these like theme parks or famous cities or other countries or whatever, like I was saying, all those places, if you don't go there, guess what we have also that hasn't been around that long? You might be able to guess it. We can escape into our own homes, into imaginary worlds that our species has built, these imaginary world playgrounds that our species has built for us to run away to inside our own houses or apartments, right? Or cars, right? Or whatever, street bench, like right here. I could pull out a Nintendo Switch, or I could pull up Netflix on my phone, or something else. There's, I don't know, again, unlimited options. I could get a virtual reality headset and really go somewhere else, Another one of the New Orleans sounds of the city. A lot of sirens. Cool shirt, man. Thanks. And so that's all my video is about there. If we don't have an unlimited number of places to run off to and have fun at outside, then we have an equally unlimited number of places to run to and hide out in and escape to and just disappear in on the inside our brains. What is another way you can do that too? You can do that reading books. You don't have to watch shows. You don't have to watch shows and put on a VR headset or play video games necessarily, which have been around for a while now too, right? You can read a book. It's just something that I feel, obviously, especially with the kids, is not as popular of a distraction. And then of course the last one, which you are probably engaging in right now by listening to me yap for over half an hour. If none of that stuff sounds good, if you don't want to watch some shows or play some video games or talk on the phone or text with somebody or put on a VR headset or any of those sorts of things that we've got available without having to go anywhere, then you can just pull your glowing rectangle out of your pocket or your purse, like I've done right now to film around this vicinity, and you can just scroll on it. You can just open social media. You can just open whatever app you want and just see you later. And your brain doesn't look back. Trust me, as a school teacher, the biggest addiction in the schools is not marijuana or vaping or alcohol or anything like that. It is this guy right here that's in my hand in the cell phone, right? And I know you guys, if you have even a teensy tiny bit of self-awareness, you're gonna admit the same thing. We're all addicted to it, and so again, at the end of the day, sorry for the cliche, our brains, I just don't think they can take a break. I don't think our brains can take a break, and sometimes those diversionary adventures mean actually going somewhere. Like I said, you can travel the world. You can even go off the planet right now. Space tourism is a real thing if you've got the money to do it. You can get on a rocket ship of some kind with a couple different companies and take a trip outside the atmosphere, even for just a few minutes. So you can go really far, or you can go nowhere at all and just pull your phone out and disappear into it, right? But so, please, seriously, I want to know, Hey, we have to get you this way. It was on selfie mode. Okay. How's it going, guys? How's it going? I appreciate the friendliness. that guy was waving at the other side of the phone. I love it. Why run from the phone? Why run from the phone? Just say hi, right? How's it going, y'all? There we go. They're friendly too. I like that. I like that. I like it. But so yeah, Jason Martinez here, hanging out with whoever you are, chilling with me in New Orleans, Louisiana. This amazing city that I'm so grateful. Thank you, Kaylee Martinez. Thank you, my daughter, for choosing to come to college here. Hello to you. Thank you for coming to college in New Orleans, Louisiana, because I had never, ever once been here until Kaylee came to school here. Man, that was a rough weekend, dropping her off from school. It was like great, no! Crying so hard on the airplane before we left, when we got back. Only got one kid, and holy cow, do we love her. Holy cow. She doesn't even know how much, obviously. She has no idea. But so anyway, yeah, what does everybody out there think about this flood of options that we have all the time on things to do, places to go, things to see, even if you don't even have to leave your own house? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it somewhere in between? Well, you know, it's easy to say, oh, balance is the key, right? They might be packing this stuff up. They're packing this stuff up. You need to grab the chairs, man?
I got it. Yes, sir.
Cool. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And they're packing up my conclusion film location there. But so anyway, just lean up against the wall here. Wrap this up. So anyway, what was I saying there? Help me. Do you guys have the technology to yell into your screen and help me remember what I was saying? How's it going? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for the reminder. I was talking about good and bad. You know, good and bad are judgments. Good and bad are judgments. Is it a great thing that we have so many people that can travel however far it is and buy devices, that even a lot of poor people these days can afford a cell phone and have internet access through Wi-Fi, even for free at the library or at cafes? They can go sit outside. You know, all these just incredible, huge technological advances that aren't even just for rich people anymore, and that people who aren't rich can find the money to buy a $99, budget airline ticket and, go off to another city that was very difficult to do not that long ago. Those sort of things were for only like middle class who saved their money, or rich people. And so, there's a lot of poor people out there right now in a lot of parts of the world who still can't do that stuff, but I'm saying a lot more people can do it now than ever before. There was a time in human history when almost nobody could. There was a time in human history where even the king of whatever his kingdom or queen of her kingdom, whoever they were, with all the resources and time available, they just didn't have the means to go anywhere else because there was no transportation that could get it done. Human beings that haven't even discovered that. You know what's funny too? I wonder if people will look back at this video, if it still exists somewhere, and maybe humans down the road have figured out ways to easily get back and forth between other planets and even further than that, and they're gonna look back and be like, ha ha ha, look at this guy here back in 2026 who was impressed by how human beings are able to figure out how to get around planet Earth. What a joke. Look, it's like the Dark Ages. This guy was so impressed by being able to get around easily and see stuff on Earth, and it feels like nothing to them. Who knows? I hope so. I mean, progress is cool, right? Progress is cool as long as it doesn't destroy too many things in the progress process. Hello. Hey, like friendly kids. Smiled right at me there. I love it. I like friendly people. I don't care how old you are, right? And I think friendliness can be cultivated. If you feel like I'm not a friendly person, just practice it, right? Just practice it. Just say hi to somebody, just say hi to somebody. It'll get easier every time you do it. And don't worry about how they respond. But hey, thanks for listening, everybody. I hope that you are using your free time as best as you can and doing things that bring you the most life. And if you feel like you don't have enough free time to do that, then, you can make the changes and, do the things somehow You know, where there's a will, there's a way. It's my second cliche. My apologies. But there's a way to get it done. So I hope you guys are enjoying where you're at, doing what you're doing. I appreciate you listening. And most importantly, this is not a one-way street. I'm not telling you guys the way it is. I am not lecturing anybody on the facts of life. I want to hear what you have to say about this world we live in and the things that human beings and people are doing today. And just, I want to know your take on it. I want to know your ideas, your feelings, and your take on it. So please let me know in the comments. Thank you, New Orleans, Louisiana. Holy cow, what's that down there? Let's go and let's finish our video with this little parade. Come with me really fast and we'll wrap this up. How's it going? I like your haircut. Random compliment. I did like your haircut. Is this a wedding? What is this? Let's find out. How's it going, guys? Oh yeah! Hey, there you go. Give me that again. There it is. Friendly people everywhere. Maybe they're all on vacation. They're just in a good mood. Who knows? I'll take it how I can get it. I'll take the friendliness and the smiles and the peace signs how I can get it. Thank you, everybody, for your attention. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say and think. And thank you, Kaylee, for bringing us all to New Orleans, Louisiana, at least in my family and friend group. We love you, and yes, I will catch everybody soon. Here from New Orleans, Louisiana. I appreciate you. See you next time.